Hey guys, how are you? How is everybody? Thank you for being here. I already see you guys in the live chat. That's awesome. Let me know how the audio is, as always. You know, the tradition that we have here. I've been having a bit of issues with the audio on the last 2 or 3 lives. It goes like in and out. So I turned off a option that I guess is available here in StreamYard to see if it fixes it. So let me know. So today's topic is one that I feel like is very important and something we should be thinking about and talking about more often, seeing as it is something that has plagued this topic for a very long time. Because the idea of UFOs or the topic itself, right? Because this topic is not explained, it's unexplained. It's still a mystery. We still don't know exactly what they are, what they want, what's going on regarding the phenomenon. We have an idea because we can look at the past and work done by other people. We can read cases. We can look at files. We can do all that. But there is a risk that we run from not having an explanation or a definition, which is something that I always bring up on the channel, that humans have this need to define everything. And this topic could have many definitions. So today we're going to talk about false UFO prophets. And don't mix it up with the idea of a guru or somebody, you know, a UFO guru. I think it's different. This is darker and deeper than that. So let me check out the live chat. Let's see how everybody's doing. I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday, and then we'll jump into the discussion. I see Lisa's here. What's up, Lisa? She says, I'm so ready. So much to talk about. The John Ramirez interview. That's something that's fresh, you know, something people are talking about right now. But I think this is where we can draw a distinct difference between a false UFO prophet and a UFO guru, right? And when I say UFO guru and use this word like false prophet, they're just words that I'm using to paint an image in your mind, because some people are really just convinced that what they are sharing with you is the truth. And they've tried to do their due diligence in their work, and they may be incorrect or they may be correct. That is the big issue that we have in this topic, that we don't know what this is. So there's this huge window that remains open for anything to be possible and anything to come in through that window. So let's see. Sofa, what's up, man? Dragonfly, how are you? Christian, I got it right this time. Disclosure team, what's up, man? Thank you for being here. If you guys aren't following Disclosure team, please go follow him. He's an awesome dude. He's genuine and he's great. He does good work. Changing up the game, definitely. One of those people in this community that I have faith in and that I believe really has their heart in the right place when it comes to this topic is Disclosure team. Let's see who else is here. I'm scrolling down the live chat. Well, let's do something real quick before we start this topic, because I think it's important, and I think lots of people should be thinking about this, at least considering this idea or what we're going to discuss today. Take the link to the video, share it on any social media platform that you use. Let's see who we can get in here. We're just getting started. Today, I think all of you will have an opinion on this. All of you will have who you might believe is a false UFO prophet. And I want you guys to share them in the chat. Don't be afraid. This is just discussion. These are just opinions. These are just our takes. This is sort of like, all these talks that we have, they're just to get our mind turning and to get us maybe thinking about things from a different perspective. So what really got me thinking about this is I constantly see I guess I could say constantly. I was going to say every so often, but I think it's pretty constant. Somebody somewhere talking about Billy Meyer, for example. Now, Billy Meyer found his way into pop culture because, if I'm not mistaken, the famous X-Files poster in Mulder's office is one of Billy Meyer's photos, if I'm not mistaken. I always mix up Meyer and Adamski, two people that we could, really talk about. But I feel like there's so many of these examples that I can give throughout UFO history that really are stains in a way, right? They're stains in a way, because what it does is it shows that some of us are looking so hard for the truth that we're willing to believe anything. So Billy Meyer has some hardcore believers out there to this day. He funded basically like a cult that he started. He believes he's like the rebirth of Jesus or some kind of Messiah. And those are all red flags for me. I don't know about you guys, but those are red flags. And apart from that, just to go back to what, his evidence and what he shares, a lot of it has been debunked. And it's debunked to the point where you can't really believe what he's saying. I did share, or I have been sharing on Twitter, some videos that are obviously CGI or some cases that are obviously fake for most people, but that some people still today hold as golden, as proof. And I've been trying to give you guys the sources to these fakes, right? To these hoaxes. So that at least the next time you're in a circle of people and somebody brings it up, you can say, no, exactly. I know where that came from. You can point out the flaw. You can point out you can find the weakness in what they're showing to you, because then you can break it. What we want to do is break the pattern of these things circulating. The internet is one click and it circulates, right? One video and it circulates. But if the community is well aware of all the hoaxes and all the CGI videos and where they're from, because maybe you think it's CGI, but maybe it's so good that you're like, I don't know if it's CGI or not. I've had those moments. Everyone's had those moments. I've said it a million times. I've spent many, many, many hours looking for footage, photos, anything tied to the phenomenon that might seem legitimate. I never share UFO videos, or it's very, very rare if I share one online, because there's so many fakes out there and so many hoaxes, and there are simple ways of creating these hoaxes. That doesn't mean that all UFOs are hoaxes. That doesn't mean that this is all, just a confabulation of our minds and our cultures. The phenomenon is real. I think being a healthy skeptic and not stepping on people's toes, but informing them in a open and clear way without insulting them is healthy, and it's also healthy to listen to the claims, to listen to the stories, to hear even the side of the hoaxer, even hear their story, analyze it, think for yourself. Don't follow the prophet off the bridge. Don't have a prophet. You don't need a prophet. You have your own mind, your own beliefs, and that's what you need to remember. So we're going to keep talking about this, but let me check out the live chat because I could talk for hours. I'm going to start muting because I'm always clearing my throat and stuff. Never muting, which is ridiculous. I see Dope Noses in here. Diego, ¿cómo andas, amigo? Andrew, what's up, man? Arno, how are you? Machen, he says, let me check out some of these comments. He says, what got you into the UFO phenomenon? You're very dedicated to this subject. I've said this before, and I'm sure I'm going to have to say it a lot, It's really just been a part of my life since I was a little kid. I've always been open to the idea that there's more out there. I did have some strange experiences in my life, not really related to the UFO phenomenon, I would say. But, the UFO phenomenon, I feel like, is intertwined with so many other phenomena that, who knows? But yeah, it's been something that I just haven't been able to shake it my whole life. It's always a question that I ask myself. It's something that interests me. And I don't think it's going to change. It's kind of like a yearning for knowledge. It's a yearning for the truth and a belief that the phenomenon is real. So I hope that answered your question, Machen. Thank you for joining. Let's see. Does Anjali believe her own story? Disappointed that on Truth Seekers, they hung on her every word. We gave her a chance. She has nothing. Here's my thing. Now, I didn't want to talk about Anjali because I really haven't been paying much attention to the story of Anjali, like what she's talking about. I know there's some kind of cave in the desert where they were going to take an expedition and meet some supposed extraterrestrials or interdimensional beings, right? I did see the pictures floating around of like lavender beings and all this. I just didn't want to dedicate my time into that too much because I think, who knows? You know, maybe she is an experiencer. Maybe that is what she's experiencing. Does that mean that when you go to that cave, you're going to see something? Should you go to the cave? I don't know. You know, for me, it's just strange to think that in that one cave, there are beings. And the real thing you should take away from these kinds of stories and from the UFO phenomenon in general, even the current state that we're at, that UFOs are real. That means that you could come across this phenomenon. You could come into contact with this phenomenon anywhere you are around the world. It's not in one cave. It's not in one UFO hotspot. It's all over the world. So for me to think that there's one spot where they're at, it's just not what I believe. And this is kind of what sparked this discussion today. People are mad that Anjali's spreading this story and she's getting followers and traction and people are believing her. They think that it's dangerous for the topic. It's dangerous for the people that believe her. But I have to say one thing. I'm bringing this topic up today and I'm talking about Billy Meyer, for example, because that should be a lesson to the people of today. We learn from the past. This idea of false UFO prophets and people coming out and telling you that they can tell you what this phenomenon really is and they know all the secrets and they know the truth. We need to learn from these mistakes that were made in the past by people that were searching for the truth. We can't go down the same path as they did. Does that mean that every time we hear this, it's going to be, the boy who cried wolf? No. It could be that there is somebody out there that is really experiencing the phenomenon face to face on a daily basis or on a monthly basis or through their whole life. And the worst part is that we're not going to listen to them. What you do is you step into it not afraid of hearing the story, hearing her case. Like Anjali's case to me it's fine. She sounds like another experiencer. Okay. Do I believe it 100%? Am I going to follow her into the desert? Probably not. And when I say probably, I'm just being kind. I'm not going to follow her into the desert because I feel like, okay, cool. Maybe somebody's having an experience in that one spot, but I could go into any desert and have an experience. I have to go find my own experience. I have to find my own answers. I don't need a prophet to lead me through the desert, is what I'm trying to say. And I'm not for this witch hunt either. I think people putting so much faith in the idea of receiving the answers to this phenomenon in some sort of explanation, simple explanation, or a pair of documents is what makes people so angry when they get let down. Your confidence that you're going to get an answer from somebody has to be low. Even some of our biggest names right now, I think the work they're doing is great, but I'm not looking at them for 100% the truth. Tell me everything. You know what it is. No. I think there are UFO truth keepers out there, people that have more knowledge than others, but that doesn't mean that they truly understand the entire phenomenon. That doesn't mean that they truly understand everything, every aspect of this. They might know that there are craft out there. They might know kind of some idea of what these craft do. But what we should be interested in is the occupants and what they want and where they're from and what the point of all this is. So let me check out the live chat again, but I just want to emphasize that I understand people's frustration with Anjali. And I saw, they brought her on. I think I was watching Truth Seekers the other day, and it's fine. I got what the panel was doing, but I'm also like, what we should be doing is strengthening our community so that when these kinds of stories get mixed into our community, we can listen to them and not get engulfed by them, hoping that we get the answers from somebody. We should be aware that this topic has so many turns and twists in it and surprises that nothing should catch us off guard. It's like getting in the ring 1,000 times and still getting hit by that left. It's like you knew it was going to come. And you can't get angry if you're in the ring and you get hit by a left, or a right hook. It's coming. Like, you're there for that. So for me, the witch hunt idea of like, let's prove her wrong. I'm like, what we should do is strengthen everybody. Make people aware that we shouldn't follow people like that. Not necessarily her, but I'm saying just people that come with these claims and say certain things. You can listen to it. You can research it. You can try and find truth in it. And if you don't, you don't. But this is not a religion. This is not a cult. This is a way of gaining more knowledge, not losing knowledge, gaining more strength in yourself, gaining more understanding of reality, not losing understanding of reality. So the Anjali thing for me is still at the same place it was months ago. I feel like nobody should be attacking people in general. We just need to be stronger and wiser and not get caught off guard and follow false prophets. Not to say that, nobody's really proven it wrong yet. Her story switched up a few times, but I'm going to leave it there. Just like I've left it there since it first came out. But I approached it with respect. I approached her as a human being. When I saw her talking or see her on Twitter, I don't attack her. I let people make their own decisions because that's the way it should be. We're all grown. There's certain people, though, as long as we can create this strength in us to not get swept up would be the word. Swept up in these things, then we don't give it power. So if it ends up becoming something that isn't real, people get let down. It doesn't echo out throughout UFO history from here to when I have, grandchildren. They're still asking me about the story of Anjali or the story of Billy Meyer. The issue there was that there were so many people that believed Billy Meyer, for example. And so many people still to this day that seem to not do 5 seconds of research and realize that some of the stuff that he said was real was completely hoaxed and in a terrible way, not even like in an intelligent way. So that's what today's topic is about. So you guys, let me know who you think are the UFO prophets that we should watch out for, because there's a lot. There's a lot. And when I'm telling you this, I'm not telling you to attack them or just to like know what's going on. It's like falling into the traps of a hoax can be deadly for some people. It's the same thing as getting caught up in a religion or a cult that is something negative. Some weird group of people. And it happens to good, honest people, but that are just not strong enough to ignore the story, or it fills up this gap for them. And that's what I want to say here too. That's the perfect thing that I'm trying to say. It fills up this gap. And in this topic, we have all these gaps, all these open windows, you know, and people are going to come through them. It's going to happen. It is definitely going to happen. Hey, I see Signal. What's up, man? If you guys aren't following Signal, go follow Signal on Twitter. He's doing this great charity event where they're giving away a sign poster, a Lou Elizondo sign poster, and the proceeds from that event are going to go to children's hospitals, if I'm not mistaken. Signal, make sure to talk about it in the live chat. Those are the cool, positive things that we can see in this community. It's not all negative, you know, and I don't want to highlight negative things all the time, but I want to strengthen people, and we got to wise up. We can't be looking for people to give us handouts. That's not how this works. That's why we've been in the same position for so many years, you know, because we're waiting for handouts. We're waiting for somebody to tell us what to believe. Imagine if you approached anything else in life that way. You wouldn't be free. I don't know. Let's check it out. Let's see what you guys are saying in the live chat. I don't want to get carried away. Let's see. Lord Ludacris, what's up, man? I have a cousin that his nickname is Ludacris. That's the nickname I gave him growing up. He says this topic is so emotional. People take things personally if you question their emotional belief system. That's true. But you should, you know, every topic is emotional. Think about anything else. When people are really caught up in things, they get emotional. And I have a way of not getting caught up in things. And I have a way of getting people emotional at times because I will respond to them in a way that's not negative. It's not fueling their emotion. It's just like in the middle. And I'm like, yo, cool. Do whatever you want. It's fine. And I see that all the time in lots of things, in most aspects of life. But I feel like in order to truly be free, to truly be a mind that is aware of what's going on, you have to break away from these. You know, you can't have emotional chains to things because you could be wrong. It could all be wrong. You know, at the end of the day, who knows? Lisa says, I have no idea who Billy Meyer is. Good. Good. I hope it stays that way, Lisa. So I'm checking out the live chat, trying to see what you guys are doing. You guys are having a great discussion. I can see everybody's having a good time in the live chat. Thank you guys as always for being here. I hope you're enjoying the conversation. Let's see. I see V. V says we have to be passionate about what matters. Yeah, but that passion is natural to me. I understand what people are saying. Like when you come at somebody and tell them something that they believe is not correct, you can see a passionate response or an emotional response from somebody. That's why it's easy to get triggered, right? When somebody disagrees with you. But at the end of the day, we got to realize too, we can go back to the same thing I was saying earlier. We still don't have a full explanation of this topic. We're still looking for answers, and we're all looking for answers. So you shouldn't be offended when somebody's confused, or you shouldn't be sad when you're confused. You know what I mean? You should expect to make mistakes. You should expect to trip up and go down the wrong rabbit hole every once in a while. It definitely happens to everyone. Even some of the best minds out there in this field, it happens. Nobody's perfect. Everyone's fallible, especially in a topic where we have no explanation at the moment. Oh, that's great. I see Signal's talking about how much they raised for the Children's Hospital and the Humane Society International, St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, and the Humane Society International. This was a great idea. See, In one of the last lives, I was talking about championing the good people in this community. And the Signal is one of those people that honestly is somebody we should champion for his actions, because I think that's amazing what he's doing. I think that's great. I mean, we should all be trying to do that. We should all be trying to help out. If we want more credibility in the eyes of the people of the world, what we should do is make changes in our community that aren't just related to UFOs. You know, it's something that I have been trying to figure out how to do, which is break away from our communities, not leave us behind, but take us to other communities and to represent us in a light that lets people say, you know what, those are good people. Maybe they weren't so crazy after all. You know, we have a lot of work to do, a lot of fixing, a lot of building, especially when we're talking about what we're talking about today. Instead of instead of hearing the story of Billy Meyer for so many years, I hope that the story of Signal doing this great thing with charity is remembered for many, many years. Those are the things we need to remember, the positives. Diego says, thank you for having us, hermano. Diego, thank you for being here. Thank you all, always, man. Oh, guys, the Unidentified Celebrity Review. They are amazing. Go check them out. If you're not, I'm sure all of you are, because they are doing great work. And thank you for being here, guys. I don't know which one of you are. I don't know if it's Luis or one of the other guys, but whoever it is, thank you guys for being here. What do I think about throwaway alien? I did hear about that on Reddit, but I haven't looked into it too much. But I mean, here's something else too. I'm not going to refer to throwaway alien, but I'm going to refer to just in general. You guys just see Nala? There's an unidentified moving object behind me. In general, it comes back to exactly what we're talking about, this idea that we're longing for the truth. We need it. It's like filling a hole inside of you, right? There's times where things get debunked and people are like, well, maybe that one part of it was fake and the rest is real. I think that is a huge mistake that we're making. What we need to do is go, okay, this obviously has some weak points in it that are not real. So we need to put it aside in the bin that it belongs and get to work on the real cases and the stuff that could be real and could be powerful and could be something that could change this conversation. We can't keep going back and forth about documents that have no way of really confirming what it is or not, because then we're just running off of assumptions and we're running off of he said, she said. And I get it. Some people are probably like thinking that I'm insinuating to one thing. I'm not. I'm insinuating to a plethora of things in this field. It happens all the time, and we need to work on that. We definitely need to work on that. So, Lord Ludacris says the UCR has been an amazing place for people to gather and listen to respectful conversation. I agree. And if you guys want to check out some other channels, remember in the link of this video, in the description of this video, there is links to different channels. You'll see 2 links. When you go in there, it's a link tree and you'll see a bunch of channels. So make sure to check that out. There's a lot of great people in this community that are trying to have conversations, trying to be respectful. We need to champion the right people. The Signal says 90s ufology is all about the he said, she said. Let's leave it behind. I think that was a Limp Bizkit reference. Dope No says, always try to put principles before personalities. I might detest someone as a person, but still need to listen to what they have to say. I agree. I think there are some personalities, though. Some people out there that are not they're not good. I mean, I don't know I don't want to say it in any other way. They're just not good voices, and you know where they're coming from and you know what they're saying, and it's just you can't really trust. You got to trust the right people too. You can't just let anybody through the windows, what I was talking about earlier. One channel that you told us to check out, John, is really, really very good. Project Unity. Thanks for that. Project Unity, Jay, that's one of my friends too. You know, I'm glad that I made so many relationships in this community with great people so far. I haven't really made any relationships with people that I didn't like. I guess I've just attracted cool people, or, you know, I don't know if I've attracted them or if I've resonated to them, but all I know is that I'm glad that they're in my circle and that I can back them up, and any chance I get, I will. They called celebrity now. I don't know what this means. Keep stuff. Let's see. I'm checking out the live chat, guys. I'm trying to see what you guys are saying. I like that V said, the fresh fruit sits next to the rotten fruit. It doesn't make the rotten fresh, but I get your point. Is Master Chief here? I don't know. Master Chief. Oh, guys, man, it is seriously been a crazy few weeks, in at least online, in this topic. Lots of infighting, lots of back and forth, lots of separation. And I think that the one thing we need to do is really just work together, strengthen ourselves up. And the UFO prophet thing, you know, let me know again, guys, who you think we should talk about, because really there are so many people throughout history in this topic that have come and said things and then later been proven to be either lying or in it for the money, or there's people that still resonate today that people believe are in it for the money, or it's all just a lie. And the worst part is when you really start to dig through it, you realize that, like, really the only reason why they had a platform was because of the people looking into the topic at the time being gullible enough to take that on or to put them there where they were. So I don't really blame either the prophets trying to get in and mix things up when the window's open, because we don't have a definition for this topic. We don't know what it is. We can't define it. We have no explanation yet. So part of the secrecy tied to this is probably one of our biggest weak points, you know, definitely. And we need to start figuring out how to separate. I get, what's the saying, guys? You guys probably know, the wheat from the chaff. We have to start learning how to separate the wheat from the chaff. But we also have to do it respectfully. I don't know why it's so difficult online for people to act like they act in real life. So many people will comment back to me saying, no, that is how I act in real life. And I'm like, there's no possible way that you insult people like that in your day-to-day life and still have fingers to type on a keyboard. Lisa, I see Lisa's talking about John Ramirez. Look, I listened to John Ramirez's case or a story or what he's saying, and the hybrid things and the whole explanation. I mean, it's something that has always been around in this topic. It's, if you look into the abduction phenomenon, there's the hybrid program. If you look into just, if you think about, if you believe that the phenomenon represents the gods and the deities of the past, right? Then we would be the children of the angels and all that stuff. And I think it's the same kind of idea. I'm not sure how deep we can take it or how we have to look at it, right? But who knows where this conversation is really going to go. I'm leaning more to the idea that we were somehow as humans evolved by something that brought us to this point. You know, I think that might be a possibility. And that could be just, you know, the hybrid thing right there. And I've been looking into this topic for many years. So a lot of these things that I hear don't surprise me. It's just a rehash of kind of what I already heard in the past. And a lot of the people in the community probably feel the same. But then we fall back to the same idea, like listen to the story, listen to what they're saying, but do your own research. Go out, learn for yourself, figure out what your hypothesis is. And if you think it's important, if you think you got something, share it with the world. You know, a lot of people have been saying like they miss the real research. They miss reading books. And I'm like, okay, then go read a book and then come back and tell me about the book. Don't do research for yourself unless that's what you want to do. But then don't expect people to give you answers, right? Go do research to help educate people. Go do research to broaden your knowledge on a topic. And I see Scott's here. Scott's saying we need less stories and more solid evidence. It's something that I've been thinking about too, bringing this topic up. Obviously, the window that I'm saying that's left open without evidence, you know, without having an explanation for this, could be closed if we had evidence. But then there's the issue here. Some people the big science point of this, I don't know how to say this, the science area of this community, I guess that's a way to say it, the scientific minds that are working at this, some people that are more focused on the science aspect of this, want nothing to do with any other aspect. You know, they're like, we need the data, we need this, we need that. I'm like, great. That doesn't mean that everything anyone else is doing is less important. I think it's all important. And for example, I can't do the science aspect of this. I can see the results that somebody can give me, but then give me the results. Give me the results. I don't know if you guys have been feeling this way, but I have. I hate this this situation that we're in constantly, where people are like, I have something really, game changing in the works, and I'm not ready to release it. And I'm like, okay, well then just don't say anything and then release it when you're ready. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, right? But it happens to me all the time where I'm like, oh man, unless you have something game changing science-wise or evidence-wise, don't tell me that you have something and I'm waiting to release it and I'm going to drop it tomorrow and this is going to change everything. Like if it's a video or something that's going to go on the media or something, if it's not some physical papers and documents that you have sitting on your lap that you don't need to edit or change or redact, then just tell us what it is. Don't leave me sitting here for 6 months for then you just to give me, some half answer or half evidence. That's something that really frustrates me with that area, or I guess that aspect of the conversation that's been happening. And it happens all the time. It happens in different forms, in little ways, in big ways, but you see it. And I don't know what the point is. It's like, just don't say anything until you're ready to say something, until you have something. Explain to me what you're doing, but then don't like hint here and hint there and build up all this tension to then come out and say, well, we still don't have anything, but thank you for waiting. I'm like, all right, cool. Hey, Laura, thank you for joining. Pintonius, I like that username, man. Let's see the live chat. Let's see what you guys are saying. Caleb, it has to happen from inside. That's interesting. I'm missing some of the conversation here. It's like I can't talk at the same time and follow the live chat as well as I think I can sometimes. Dragonfly says, the phenomenon is complex also because of the lack of evidence. We have evidence that brought us where we are now. We know something is definitely going on, but most of the claims out there remain. Yeah, I agree. That's what I'm saying. Like, the data is important. The evidence is important. And I think that will help close these gaps that we have to where con artists and fake prophets and people telling you, stories or confabulations that are just, I don't know what they're even for, but people that do that will not exist because there will be evidence, there will be proof to something that goes against what they're saying or doesn't align with what they're saying. And I think that's kind of the direction we're headed in. But I do think that the people that have evidence, I think, shouldn't talk about it until they've checked all their sources, until they've really figured out how they're going to share it with the community or the world, and then come out and share it. I think that's very important, because if not, they're going to drive a lot of people crazy. They're going to have people scratching at the walls, thinking about what's really going on. And that's not what we need. Farouk says there's a lot of speculation in this field, too much to be honest. There is a lot of speculation, but the issue is the speculation happens because there is no evidence. There is some evidence. Sorry, that's the wrong way to say it. There is some evidence, but we don't have anything concrete enough to give us an explanation to what really is going on with the phenomenon. We have stories and claims, and we're fighting to get evidence. We're fighting to get more of that stuff. And while we do that, we need to remember that speculation is speculation. And hypothesizing and doing research and thinking of what could be possible is not bad. The issue is when people are out there saying, this is the truth, this is what it is, this is the only way. There is no only way. I'm sure a lot of the people here in the live chat will agree with me that the one red flag you need to watch out for is when somebody comes to you and says, I know everything about the phenomenon. I know why it's here, what it's doing. That is a huge red flag. Caleb says, I was just saying disclosure has to be an inside job. Someone needs to infiltrate the system in order to find the answers and stay alive long enough to expose the truth. That sounds like a crazy film, but you might have a point. Sorry that I said it sounded like a film. I just imagined somebody infiltrating the truth right away, and then you sold it to me with, they have to stay alive long enough to expose the truth. Let's see what happens, man. I think the biggest issue that people forget all the time when we discuss this topic is that the phenomenon itself is hiding in the shadows. If you believe in the phenomenon, then you have to understand that who cares if the government is keeping the secret, because the phenomenon is really keeping the secret. The phenomenon is not communicating this in a way to wake humanity up by abducting a few people. That doesn't really work. I mean, I would know that that's not a good approach. That's not a good marketing lead. That's not how you want to get the world to wake up. It's something that's always puzzled me. It's like people are like, no, but they are trying to wake us up. And I'm like, I don't think that's the way they can wake people up. I think they can wake you up. They can wake the experiencer up or the abductee up to the reality of what's going on, but not the entire planet. And it's been happening for so long, the abduction phenomenon, this phenomenon interacting with us. It's pretty obvious that the phenomenon itself doesn't want to expose itself. So V said, I don't want 50 truckloads of paperwork to figure it out. That's true. Well said. Andrew says, well said. The phenomena is a massive contributor to the secrecy. It's huge. It's the most important contributor to the secrecy. It's the biggest player in this whole game of deception. It is the biggest player. There's no other way to put it, Guys, let me know how the connection's doing. If it's cutting up or cutting out. Just because I see like my connection is running pretty shoddy or something, and I don't know why. Let me know how the image is coming through. Am I glitching up? I see you guys are saying I'm lagging a bit. I'm breaking up. Oh, man. You know what the issue would be? The only issue would be I'm thinking I could run the landline through, but all right. So if I'm breaking up and it's lagging, let's do something. I'm going to take my face off of here. Oh, there's an alien on the screen now. I don't think you guys can hear me when I remove the audio from the screen. Give me a second. I've turned into an alien. Yeah, so I'm trying to like figure out what to do with the screen when I'm glitching up. So give me a sec. Let me see if I remove. Add myself to the stream. All right, I'm going crazy. I'm gonna leave it up. Whatever. Let it glitch. It's gonna glitch. We'll be fine. Trying to see what I can do here. All right, let's continue the conversation. Let me check out the live chat. Let's keep going. Turn off this banner. Abducted again. Sorry about the no video and audio real quick. I was trying to figure out if I could take my face off of this and just leave like a picture up so I wouldn't be like just frozen all the time. But I'll try my best to like not move around too much so I don't look super wild while trying to do this. He says, screw it, it's working. We can hear you. Okay, cool. I don't know what it is, man. All you guys that stream out there, let me know what it could be that is doing this to my internet. I don't have anything on. Like, and most of the time it works fine. I don't know what it could be. Maybe if somebody else is doing something in the house with my Wi-Fi, I've got like good Wi-Fi too. The Face Off was a good film. It was a good film. So now I've lost my place on what we were talking about. I'm just trying to see where I can pick this up again. It's the government. All right, guys. I mean, I don't know what you guys think, but regarding going back to what the Anjali thing, I think we just need to be stronger as a community and not get carried away when people come and tell stories. We can't expect the answers to be in a cave. They could be anywhere, you know, and if you believe that they're in that cave, they can be anywhere. So this is not a negative talk about Anjali either. Like I said, I've always kind of approached her story and her claims as like, that's just what she's saying and what she feels and what she's doing. I don't think it's dangerous. I think it's dangerous that people will believe and follow people like that. I think that's dangerous. And that's something we can change and we can work on. But the rest is just, it's never going to stop. There's always going to be people that come and tell a story, and they might be an experiencer. So you never know. So you first have to listen. Then you have to figure out what you think. But there's no point in the witch hunt aspect of it. And there's people in the community that have lots of traction that are dangerous too, you know. They're only dangerous because people are willing to believe every single thing they say. The moment you have your own belief, your own mind, your own conscious, you know, I mean, whenever you're free from all these and you're not looking for anything, you're not looking for a handout from somebody, that's the moment that you don't need to worry so much. I like how some people are on the same page as me too. I feel like I'm always in the middle, and it's difficult to be in the middle a lot of the time because like sometimes I might say something and I want to direct it to a certain person because I don't want to do that. You know, I don't want to like cause drama. There are times where I think you should stand up for things. You should fight for things. You should, you know, champion your heroes and those things. But remember that your heroes are human. It's all fallible, right? Everybody's fallible. That one time I was abducted by aliens, make sure to check out their channel. Their channel is also in the link tree in the description of this video. They say we're all a piece of disclosure, all of us collectively. Julie, what's up? Julie said just dropped in to say hi. Things to do with the man of the woods. Hey, Julie. Hope you guys have fun doing things with the man of the woods. Oh, cool. Pro Illusionist said, sorry didn't make it, but just came to say I love you all. Love you too, bro. All right, guys. So I think the connection is pretty bad. We've been going for like 50 minutes. So I would normally stay for an hour or more. But if the connection is bad and I can't really take my face off of here without cutting out my mic, I think we're going to end here. And the real important message today was don't get caught up, man. Don't get caught up in the stories. We're stronger than that. The community is stronger than that. We need to show the world that we're not those kind of people that get caught up in fallacies, you know, in stories. But don't be afraid of them either. You know, there's no reason to burn the books. Just know what you're reading. You know, understand what you're reading. We'll talk soon. Thank you guys for all the great for the great comments, and it really does mean a lot every time you guys are here. Please make sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed. Turn on the notifications. Check out the channels in the links in the description of this video, and we will talk soon. And I hope next time I won't be stuck in the matrix and glitching up. Talk soon, guys.